Welcome to the Winners of Sheffield podcast. We are here with Joe Patterson of Passion to Progress.
Hello. Yeah, that's the one.
Personal trainer. So the stage is yours. Where did you begin? In Sheffield. Where did you grow up? From there we'll go.
I was born in Lincolnshire.
Oh yeah.
And I then lived in Gainsborough for 3-4 years. And then my mum was like, "There's nothing in Gainsborough here, kid. We gotta go." So I did grow up with my dad, but I'm still in contact with him. And then we moved from Gainsborough to Wyburn, which was an upgrade to us, to be fair. And met the best people of my life ever. Because obviously I was an only child. Grew up in a new city, and it was just a case of just navigating through school to school.
Which school did you go to?
Wyburn Community School, primary. Was meant to go to Walfield at the time, which is now Sheffield Park Academy. But I was, funny story, I was the first ever kid from Wyburn to go to All Saints.
Right. Yeah.
So because you're meant to be Catholic, so we went to Methodist church. But miraculously got into All Saints, which happened to be a sports college as well. They just opened up goals. They always played football, setback. Sheffield had been 95.
Oh,
I tend to ask the question.
From Wyburn, went to All Saints, failed a lot of my GCSEs. Actually, so I honestly failed a lot. So I had to do a clearing course at College. So I was
that because you struggled or just wasn't engaged?
I just wasn't engaged. But my maths was stupidly good. So in primary school, there was 4 kids out of Sheffield, and I was one of the 4 kids to represent Sheffield against other cities in the nation to do a maths challenge, and I came first. So I just literally destroyed everyone. So
genius level.
Yeah, honestly, I was learning stuff like what's 22-sided shape, a dodecahedron, how fast does the nerve spin in its axis and stuff like that. Y6.
So doing yowls and
proper crazy stuff. But my problem was I like fun. Probably don't like ADHD. I've been diagnosed with my therapist. She's like, you've done your coping mechanisms already. So and now getting into that through fitness. Yeah. So when I did my clearing courses, I had to retake my English, and then I fell into level 2 sport. So that's only a year course, but then it led me on to doing level 3 diploma in sports and exercise science, something along the lines of that. But because I was already in college for 2 years, I was like, I can't do a 30 in college. That's obscene. Everyone's already gone to uni. I can't do that. So I dropped out. But I dropped out, fell onto my feet, and then found a gym instructing apprenticeship. So I was like, that's a bit mean, that hands-on approach. That was at a place called Lifetime Training. And that, do you know where Woodland Sports Centre is?
Yeah.
There's a little terrible therapy, right at the end of the campus. So do you know when you come off from Children's Hospital and you can park in that corner, across some Starbucks?
Yeah.
If you walk down, there's a little blue therapy.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's shut now.
It's
proper overgrown.
Yeah, literally that therapy is just well with bushes.
Yeah.
We did the practical, did the theory and then the practical in Government Sports Centre.
Right.
Because they had a really cool gym. It's still the same gym. So we learned that we did the theory and practical, and then you had to find an apprenticeship after the first 4 weeks. So when I dropped out of college in July, I did that in August. Applied for hundreds of jobs, just sent it, because you get a half qualification. Yeah. So got the half qualification, applied for every single gym in Sheffield, and then I got a job at Ponds Forge. I was like, what the hell? Out of all the places, I thought
that's the big one.
Definitely going to be a smaller gym.
Yeah.
But I did the interview, and managed to I don't think she works in fitness anymore. She was like, because of how I was with people, and I think that's from moving city, going into different schools and different bits like that. It just helped me to communicate. So they made you do a random introduction and a random member, just to show that you've actually qualified and that you can work with the general public. So then she pulled me aside and said, listen, you've done a really good job. We're not going to pay your apprenticeship wage, we're going to pay you a normal wage, and you can start next month. So I just literally dropped out of school, quickly qualified, dropped out of college, qualified, and then pursued my gym instructing that way. this is 2012.
So I was in 2001.
Yeah, so it would have been, what was it called then?
It was Fitness Unlimited.
Yeah, Fitness Unlimited. Any better hobbies or something?
Yeah.
So went there, and then literally, because in the gym scene, how it goes, it's like level 2, 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So level 2 gym instructor, level 3 personal trainer, level 4 specialist in like strength and conditioning or anything like rehabilitation or anything like that. So for 2-3 years, I was just building up my confidence, because I literally was like fresh out of college. I was like little noodle arms, never seen a dumbbell, but I was like not really interested in like gym like that, because I preferred like football, sports.
Were you naturally lean?
I was honestly proper skinny, like I almost had like zero confidence giving people advice, because I was telling like adults this is how you build muscle, and I had zero muscle myself. So I remember getting on leg press and my legs shaking, because like I was just like SpongeBob. Honestly, it was insane. But then that kind of like lit the fire, because I'm competitive, and I was like, do you know what, I need to, like, I'm competitive against myself, more like, right, this is my way, right, I need to like fix up now, because I can't get to 25 and be like this. And that was just my mindset, how I like started to accumulate and think. And then as I progressed in gym instructing, I then got to the point where I passed. My tutorials wasn't very thin, and I was like, right, I'm ready to become a personal trainer, because like I was showing people how to use equipment, but I wasn't allowed to physically like train. Get stuck in and be like, this is what you need to do. Even though people were asking me like, how do you do this? Because as I was doing that, I'm building myself up as well, so I'm like getting stronger, putting a little bit of size on, like just testing the fields, because when you're young, you're going hard, big time, like you're just discovering yourself. Like when you're 18, you think you're an adult, but you're not, you're a kid. Like I just got my first car, and I remember, and I like to use tangible things to like work towards, and I remember like, because I used to walk from Wyman to work, which was only like 15 minutes. I was like, right, I need to like get my car, because my ex at the time was in Dronfield, so I used to have to get a tram, bus, so I can't do this all the time. I'm gonna get my car, so like, I remember getting this like white Fiesta and buying it, but forgot to get my insurance. I was like, where's the logic? So like, a lot of my journey is just like learning as I go along.
The price you pay for love.
Literally, we're not even moving anymore. But like, fast forward a couple of years, kid, dog, and wife now. So like,
evens yourself out.
Yeah, honestly,
I saw the dog price.
Yeah.
Dog come in.
Yeah, she's great. She's a miniature Labradoodle, and we rescued her from Wales. And basically, this guy bought her, didn't like her, because she was nibbling his kids, even though she was a puppy, and that's what puppies do. It's like, okay, we'll buy her.
Yeah.
Take her. And yeah, she's really good with every single client as well. So like, she doesn't mind fuss for like a couple of minutes, and then she'll just sit in the passage. But yeah, back onto the topic of like personal training. It's a funny story how I actually got qualified for that.
I was going to say, because what we say to a lot of guests when we start it is that we talk about there's a moment in time where the career path you go, yeah or no. And I call it the switch, where you say, this is what I want to do. When I take it when you were at college, that was a switch when you went, yeah, I want to get into this. And you said when you were showing, when you showed people around, that was where you wanted to go, was it?
Yeah, the switch happened when I realised that if you give me $9,000 in my own facility, I'm just going to part it.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking long term, like me going to university, like I wasn't pushing myself to get distinctions, even though I could do that in college. But like I had like I don't know what it was, but something said to me like in my head, like if I'm not bothered about it in college, give me more time and like space is not going to force me to become myself. And I said that to my tutor, and she was like, "You're absolutely insane." She literally said like, "What?" She literally said to me, because I went, "I'm going to do this apprenticeship," and she was like, "You're doing the wrong thing. Yeah. Well, literally, you are." She literally basically saying I'm stupid. She's like, "You can't do that. You need to go to uni." I was like, "I get that," because it was on the final day of college when I got the year 1, because you re-enroll again to go into year 2. And I said to her like, "I'm not going to do year 2 because I found an apprenticeship." And because we had a gym on site, and I was like, "Yeah, this is like pretty cool. Like you show someone how to do this, and then you get an outcome, like through time and patience. And the guy called Rob, he was like an absolute unit. Like he was like Michelin man with muscle. Like he used to have slick back hair. I was like, I can never forget this guy. But I just remember like, well, this is pretty cool. It's like really relaxed. You can talk to everyone and have some fun. It's very social. Like, and I think that old schoolish environment is like how I had it envisioned in my head to, right, this is what the gym should be like. If you're stuck, you come in for help. You can have a talk. You can do something. You can push up yourself to your limits. And people might judge you, that's their problem. But like your own problem, you're looking after yourself. And that's how I like see it. So that was the switch for me now reflecting upon it, because I thought there's nothing wrong with, everyone's got their own paths, and I thought 30p teachers, do you know what I mean? It's like you don't have to battle for the same job. And like being a numbers guy, I'm like 30 to 1, 2 classes, 60 places, how many schools are there in Sheffield? 8, like or whatever it is. Quite a lot of competition and there's already a job being fulfilled. So I couldn't really like quantify going to uni for 3 years. Do you know what I mean? I was like, it's a lot of like written work.
It's a common theme in Sheffield College now, because I was at Norton and it was drilled into you there as well that you've got to go to uni with land and open money, you've got to go there. If you don't go there, you think basically. It was, wasn't it?
And controversially, I mean, at the time when you were sort of like the sense of dropping out of college, I mean, I'm 11 years old and I went to uni in 2010. Did a degree as a mature student, but I now sort of think, I mean, I've got my best friend's daughters at both the university, and I'm like, I just don't get it. Like, I think now more than ever, like, the world is going to change more in the 5 years that you're at university.
Because on the flip, like, say for instance, like one of my best mates is an architect, and it's like you have to go to uni. Do you know what I mean?
And that's the thing, you know what you want to do.
Exactly. And I feel like if you know your exact course, if you know what you're on with, if you know, no one else, you know it, you know you're good, that's what you want to do it. And I think there's nothing wrong with that, because like, say for instance, some of my clients who are training when I was younger, who were students, are now doing crazy stuff from uni, like they sell like marble top stuff for the kitchen, which is like extremely expensive like stuff, and they've smashed it, but they've built that business mindset as well as uni, so they kind of get best of both those. So I think it's all relative, but like even for myself, like I've just took an intern from university, and like when I went through quite a lot of the interviews, there was like quite a lot of information to read, and you can just tell when someone's just used ChatGPT, you can tell when someone's just like winged it, and you can tell when someone's actually written it. And it's like, because I'm crafted, I was like, I am not fake. Like, I know when someone's like done something, and like when it comes towards like finalising the final three, how I picked who you could just, when you speak to them and communicate it, that's what the communicational skills are.
So you don't come across with what they thought.
So like you can just fish it out, and obviously I talk to people for a living, so it's a case of like giving them that leg up to help them as well, so that. And also the people who wasn't successful, I let them know like you've not done anything wrong. Sometimes it's just not the right time for you. This is what you need to do next. Don't take it to heart, because sometimes like when you're young, you can get shot down quite a lot. And when I was young, like going for stuff, like I got shot down. I failed a lot, and I still fail today. Like we all make mistakes, and like yesterday, as in actually yesterday was a crazy. Even I woke up late for an appointment. I never wake up late. I literally like. Honestly, I woke up at 5:57 when my clients at 6 o'clock, but luckily, because it was so like alien, they was like, oh, it's cool, we managed to get down for like 20 past 6, already had a shower, don't worry. And it's just like, this, but we all accept that like, sometimes life happens, it was just a really peculiar day. But yeah, back on to...
Yeah, we digress. So I must add, by the way, I'm an employee of Sheffield University, so university is great. The 2011, so you decide 2011, here we go, I can't get involved, but now I can, and this is where I want to go. So, what was the first steps there? Ponds Forge. What were the experiences like at Ponds Forge?
Unreal. Going into a gym at 5:30 PM when there's like 1,000 members in is insane. Like, about 300 members in, I think, what the hell? Like, it was
I used to go after work back in the day, before your time.
Yeah. It'd be like walking on this ramp, and it's like when it's
always had good divers in as well, didn't they? Doing the trampoline.
Yeah. I was really proud of working there, like, because it's an international sports centre, but it's just been run rubbishly, and like, if you think about it, that should be like the centre of like health, because it's straight after Parkway, like, we had a big massive sports centre, and now it's just like, oh good. I was going to say something else, but like,
I think to be fair, it's like there's more than one way to skin a cat in there, and they're definitely like a cash cow.
yeah.
Just take your money, get people in and out.
That's what a lot
There'll be like one fitness trainer for, like you said, 60 people
Yeah,
or whatever.
That must be a common theme across gyms. I know we're digressing again, but that must be a common theme.
Yeah,
Yes, people bums on seat, bums on treadmills.
No, if you think about like, so coming up to 14 years now, I've learned way more, I've learned so much about business, and it's like pure gym, JD, those gyms rely on people not attending, because if every single member attended at like that low ticket offer and high volume, with one member, with 3 members of staff, the gyms would just be overwhelmed. Like, because if you think about it, it's like a car dealership saying, pick any car, even though we've not checked your driving license, you can drive, and then you can do whatever you want and get on with it. That's literally what they're saying. And it's like, whereas like what I grew up on, and the etiquette was like, you cannot, whatever your experience was on, you still have to do an induction to know where the fire exit is. Like, because you probably don't know where that is, you figure it out.
I don't know where it is.
It's like, say for
I've
instance,
been there for about 3 years.
God bless the family of the person who just passed away. But like that person, the members who are in that gym will have to run around like absolute maniacs to find someone.
Do you know what's sad about that? Was like a friend of mine. I only see him in the gym to be fair, but obviously somebody messaged me saying, "Hope you're all right." So I sent it to him saying, "I hope you're all right," and then sent him a screenshot of what happened. And they were like, "I was actually in there," and he said, "You know the sad thing about it?" He said nobody came. He said people just carried on working out and whatever. And like he said, even when like the hospital paramedics were there, people were training and whatever. It went to the staff and he said, "You have to enter this gym." He said, "You have to enter this." And he was like, and I said to him, "In all fairness, those people in that gym will never be trained in that scenario." You know, and you know, it's easy to criticise them, but they're not put in the situation. And like I say, he was a teacher at one point, and he was like, "Mate, you've got to clear this." And it was only because he'd said that that they ended up clearing the gym.
We had someone have an epileptic fit, and what happened as soon as that happened, we pull a red cord, everyone get out, don't care if you're working out or not, you need to leave. Black tape over him, we sort of rest out, close the gym off, send an email out, done. I found out the information through Sheffield Online. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like people are like, what's going on? Sheffield Online knows before the even gym managers. Obviously, they probably. We don't know every single detail, but it's just to show you, like, in the span of like 10 years, this is how etiquette's dropped. Like,
I was going to ask you actually about that, and I know we are digressing, but it's all relevant, I think. Places like your JD gyms, and I've thought this anyway, the people working there aren't going to be on much money, are they? So they're almost reliant on a PT session or whatever. I mean, you see them floating around. I mean, not so much in JD, but I used to use the gym. And they were all really pally. They were always a bit of a sales tactic, you know, like get pally with you and then, "Oh, you know, I can do this, do that." And I'm like, you know, at that point, all late 30s, I'm early 40s, I know all that. You know, I know what I need to do. You know, and that's not going to be disrespectful. I probably would benefit from a PT, but at the same time, I'm probably not going to do it from one who's on minimum wage and needs to pump the money up. You know what I mean? With all due respect. But it's interesting to talk about that model, that really those people aren't going to be making money unless
it's very hard for them unless if you're like extremely focused on it. And the thing is as well, like even the rent for places like that is very expensive. So like I was speaking to a couple of PTs and people from Fitness Network, and it's like they pay like £1,000 a month to rent the space, which is like, that's mortgage money for some people. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's why they then have to then go down the avenue of like being salesy, because then they're chasing your ass and almost even breaking even or whatever. And it's hard because it's like low ticket high volume places, you're gonna then try and sell a high ticket service, and it's like you might get a few here and then they have to devalue themselves, so therefore like the commitment to what they do. And I've been there, like I understand what it's like.
Well, I was going to say, I imagine you were in that situation.
When I say that I started at Ponds Forge, I started off with a 0-hour contract. Like, I had to pick up shifts. I was like never like said, I was never part-time or full-time, it was literally 0 hours, and I remember it being like 8 hours, then it went up to 16, basically being made redundant, then managed to pick up a better contract from that, and then built up to like 22.5 hours, then they mentioned 30, and then the whole SIV changed into like City Trust. And then
it's not me,
and that's when I became a personal trainer, because I was getting my hair cut one day, and then a guy in Barbers was looking for an apprentice. And I like literally swivelled on the seat, did cut my hair off, but like swivelled in the seat. Swivelled in the seat, and I was like, wait, I'm qualified. And so then there used to be a private gym where the old fire station used to be on the roundabout in town, near Trickle Lane, near Hilton Hampton.
So what's the it's the museum, isn't it?
Like called View Force Fitness.
Yeah, right at the bottom.
Yeah,
Because I used to work on the second floor.
So
And again, when I went in there, there were a lot of money for and then they were like, I just thought, it's only really for them students upstairs, because like parking's a nightmare down there.
Yeah. So like he was on a lot of money. And how I got my apprentice, I had to verse his fitness client. Here we are. So like I had to run from his gym all the way to Quick Fit, back down, and then do a workout to prove that I was actually fit. And I was like, do you know what, looking back at it, it's actually a good way of like doing an interview. Like, let's see if you actually are, because you look alright, let's see if you can actually perform. I just destroyed this guy. I was like, I'm getting this apprenticeship. The thing about fitness, you judge that face value whether you like it or not. So like, you could be the kindest soul on the planet, you can know everything, but if you're mobility obese, you judge. Like, it doesn't matter what you say. Like, you can be as kind, you can beat around the bush as much as you want, but like in fitness, you are judged based on how you look. Like that, and that's how it should be, because it's about aesthetics, it's about how you look. Because like, even like women who are in their 60s, and like there's a woman who does like menopause specific programs and how I get rid of my menopause belly and all that stuff, and she looks really good. But like if she was like 30 stone and she knew what she knew, people wouldn't listen to her, because you just
second as anything.
exactly. So like when I realised that as well, like I am my own sales pitch. Like when I walk into places and I look after myself and stuff like that, like you can't read my mind, but you can read like an aura of how someone is. And there's a difference between like confidence and arrogance as well. Like arrogant could be like, yeah, right, like just finish workout, I ain't getting on. You know, like you can instantly be put off by that. But like what I've learned is that like confidence is actually a skill, and like you can work on your confidence over time by doing things. I've done loads of reading, loads of podcasts, like as in listening to him, and that's how I use it to be like my mentor. So like I like to listen whilst doing something, and I like to take a sentence away and be like, yeah, that's it.
I was going to ask you that, Joe, when you were like getting started in it, and were the people you looked up to in the industry, and you thought, yeah, I want to be there, or they held you on the way, pushed you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like mentors or people inspired you to do it.
I never had like a physical mentor where I paid someone, but I always was inspired by seeing someone who I always had the idea of like, if they can do it, why can't I?
So when you're talking about you've gone from, you've left Sheffield, you've gone to youth fitness, or
Lifetime fitness.
Lifetime fitness.
Yeah.
So you started a tribe.
Yeah, I've been tried as well. So this is
Check your road.
I'm Crinkle, the one that used to be in the shipping containers too.
Oh yeah.
So
I never understood they got a gym in there, what a
crazy. It was so hot.
Yeah.
Crazy. Made it was crazy.
I didn't in the gym.
Yeah. Imagine, right, so it's not just gym, it's like an intense, high intense. And then that was a big pivotal moment, because skipping over Tribe, prior to Tribe, I used to work at Ponds Forge and Tribe. So I used to work part-time at Tribe, part-time at Ponds Forge, and then I built my client base up from there. And that Tribe was awesome, because I never worked in like a bespoke boutique studio, and I didn't know they existed, so I just knew gym. But it was awesome, like I used to do 4 classes back to back, and I used to have 36 people in a class back to back, like 45 minutes of a leg class as well, so 4 leg days back to back, I'll never forget. But like it used
and you're actually doing it?
Yeah, and I'm actually physically doing it, like physically showing them what to do, and I remember going into work the next day for my clients, and it would be like actual PTSD of like a barbell. But yeah, like I think part of the parcel in your journey is also like you have to do like graveyard stuff. because you just don't know your limits, you don't know your flaws, you don't know your limits, and that's when I started to say, I got to the point where I was like, I can't do this thing, and saying no is a hard thing. Yeah. But when they offered me more classes and stuff like that to become a manager, I was just like, no, I don't want to do that. I know my mission is in here and here. That's what I want to pursue. So to answer your question, which I completely forgot about, when it comes towards figuring out my personal training route and how I got to here, that's when I started to realise this is what I want to do. I want to help people in a private environment, but allow them to train in those JD gyms and make the most out of their memberships, because I see people once a week, but then I set them up their programs so that they can follow it wherever they live. So we get people from Barlow, Stocksbridge, Hillsborough, anywhere. I've got clients in China, Manchester, really random places, but they've all gravitated to see me from online or in person or word of mouth. And it's cool when
when did you set that up? That was 20.
When I set up Passion to Progress, funny story, I used to wear a lot of Nike clothing, and when I used to work at Muscle Madness around the corner, people didn't know that I was a personal trainer. They just saw me as a random guy showing people how to do everything. And I was like, I kind of need to represent myself. I need to brand myself now. And I was like, what do I like? I was like, well, I'm passionate about fitness, I like to see progress. So, Passion to Progress. Yeah. Even though I failed English, it kind of goes. Yeah. Here we are. So I made, I like this, do you remember Grand Theft Auto Vice City? Yeah. So that type of logo, synthwave. Yeah.
I saw the buzzer downstairs.
Yeah, literally. So that's the inspiration from that. Because I love that radio station and 80s music too. Really cool. Redefined dress, all that stuff. So then I was like, yeah, that'll hang. I'll go with that. And I made loads of hoodies, loads of t-shirts. And then it was just a nice way of putting a stamp on it, because then kind of marketing without realising. So then the clients who was training in the gyms wearing the hoodies, and I love a hoodie, and I was like, I need to get a good sort of hoodie for us to wear, because it was freezing at the time. Made loads of hoodies, I think I sold 100 hoodies, just out of the first month. Just not having a target in mind, people were just ordering and just going, can I have more? Can I get a friend one? I was like, yeah, sick. Yeah. So still to this day, I'm still selling hoodies, obviously not now because it's stupidly good. But then to keep a lid, as I kept on doing more things what felt right, I'm just learning another avenue of business, and then that's what put me down reading more about business, and I was like, wait, I kind of need to make my own place for this. Yeah. Let me do that. So then how here came about was when I was after I left Ponds Forge, because I left Ponds Forge to pursue the unit with my friend, where I opened up that old place which failed. There was a short stint where I worked at Muscle Madness before, because we just needed a place to wave and have time to think and plan stuff out. So I left Ponds Forge, TRIB and Muscle Madness, all three things, sacrificed everything to pursue that place. That failed, went back to Muscle Madness, and then I said I'm going to rebuild all of my client base. I didn't lose any clients, actually getting more from that. And then over the past 2, 3, 4 years of working back in the back street bodybuilder gym, which was some of the best years ever, because you have the best equipment, you have the best equipment to work with compared to commercial gyms, because commercial gyms usually lease equipment, they break a lot, take ages to repair. When it's in the back street bodybuilder gym, it's all custom made from local people. So it's
hard knocks gyms,
literally, the music booming, people who are laser focused, learning from veterans, and you get the best advice. Met a lifetime natural champion bodybuilder called Lloydie, there's a speed gym called Lloydie's.
Lloydie used to go to Ponds Forge. When I trained he's big dreads.
Lloydie and his mate. So you were there, he taught me some golden nuggets and stuff like that. So in a way, everything's kind of happened for a reason. And then it got to a point where I was like, because I couldn't run that gym how I wanted to, because it's not my gym. I got to a point where I was at capacity and I couldn't grow anymore. And I was like, I kind of need my own venue and place now. So I was driving past here. And the owner
It's
knows.
nice for the baby.
Yeah, thank you. The owner knows I'm here, and he was glad for me to like do, because he knew that he was so like, I know that you're gonna end up doing it anyway. So when I said to him, I wrote him a letter to say thank you for giving me the space and time, and like letting me to leave and come back, and thank you for letting me to build my client base up and all this stuff. Because you never know, sometimes this might go wrong, where do I go next? Do you know what I mean? So I didn't want to burn any bridges, and what I learned from previous failures is that you don't want to leave things in bad terms. Sometimes people like you to be so that at a high ticket this. I feel like you can almost be a bit of everything if you are smart enough and crafty enough. I think like not one shoe fits all. Every single human is different. Everyone has a background. Everyone has a predicament. Everyone has time issues or what. And then the more of like personal training, the more people I've met, the more time I spent in it. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like. And I can even be more like brutally honest with people because I want the best for them. Like it's for someone to come in through them doors and then like trust me to then help them to improve their lives. That's a massive thing. Yeah. And it's like I've had a woman who's 62 years old who's had a heart bypass. We had someone lose 15 kg in like 12 weeks naturally, nothing crazy, no like pine cone diets, just eating right things. And actually, I kind of find it easier now to train people because we've got access to the right things. So I could say, go on Amazon and buy it and you'll come tomorrow. Whereas like 10 years ago, it'd be like, you have to go to like a supplement shop. So like, in a way, technology has helped me to like be even more effective with my service. The results have been better, they just get better and better and better. We've seen people like go from I've never been able to run to people we had a Premiership footballer in here like last year. I can't say I signed an NDA. You create like opportunities for yourself, but I'm a big risk taker, like in my own right. Like I live by take a risk or lose a chance. And I think sometimes you can just jump into the deep end and learn how to swim. And I tell every single client progress or speed, if you want to get this stuff done, you need to act right now. Don't wait until Monday. I then got qualified in life coaching, all in the mix of all of this crazy stuff. Like I thought, let's just do some life coaching as well. It's different to counselling and therapy. Therapists and counselling break it down, why. Life coaching is like action. You need to take an action now. Like you need to do something like literally now to change something. And it falls to the dojo. I don't know if you can even see that now. Mirror, but I'll quickly explain it. So, the dojo rules. So like if a dojo in Japan's like a very special place where like you know like you take off your shoes and they go in bowing and stuff like that. I was like, well, this could kind of be like a dojo because you train in dojos and so number one, understand your value, understand the value of yourself. Number two, are you okay as you are? If it's no, why? What can we do to change that? What can we do to like help you to feel better? Number three, smart targets never fail unless you do. So if it's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and it's got time to it, how can that fail if it's smart? Number four, delegate. So like I say to myself, if you're paying me, you're delegating your health with me. Like I'm a professional, I'm qualified, I'm certified, I'm always doing research, but you need to trust what I say because it's going to help you in your own right to get you fitter. Number five, nothing's accessible apart from your best. If you've only got 40% on that day and you give 20, that's 50%. So if you can give that full 40% on that day when you feel 40%, that is your best effort. It doesn't always have to be 100%. Just as long as you can do what you can with what you've got, that is your best effort. Number six, be relentless. Like I used to like people please a lot. Yeah. Whereas like now I'm like, no, that's not going to work. Let's do this because this is going to be better. Let's save time because time is precious. What can we do instead? Okay, shit's at the fan. What can we do to clean it up to quickly to salvage this? And I think that's like a unique skill that I've like learned because I used to be very fixated, whereas like now we have like a set skeleton and we add meat to it and we take stuff away, so it's easy for us to like see what's going wrong and we review it. Number seven, trust the process. So it's like we need to trust the process. Nick Saban is one of the best American football coaches of all time. I think he won 6 championships. And what he said is that we don't focus on winning the games. We focus on winning the small interceptions, the passes, and stuff like that. So I've applied that into my concept. Like if we focus on putting one foot in front of the other and and getting the momentum going and building on the process of getting you towards your goals, you're going to get that more, because that's how you stop yourself from stopping. Sometimes people achieve the goals and just fall off. And then the last one is bad habits have a cost, but good habits have a price. So it's like, you've got to understand that, like, if I booze every day, if I want Guinness because I love Guinness, like, don't get me wrong, I'll then get tolerant to that and become 2 Guinnesses a day, free, because you just do, it's a habit. But like, the price I have to sacrifice is like, I've got to say no to that. Like, I've got to like limit myself and say, this is how much I can have.
Yeah, it's the hardest part.
That's the hardest part. But that price what pays me back is like, I might not feel bloated, I feel alright, I feel sound, I feel clear mentally. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, everything's hard in its own way, you've got to choose which hard's your hard. And it's like, if you've got a massive goal, you've got to understand that, like, you can't expect an A-star result with CE efforts. You just can't.
Yeah.
Like, there's no correlation with that whatsoever. If you want an A-star result, you've got to do an A-star effort all the time, even when you don't want to. If you want a B result, do a B result. B effort, CC, DD.
I wanted to do high rocks and stuff, like found out what it stands for, didn't know what it
I
stands
know, and it made me cringe and all.
hybrid rock spelling is what.
Yeah, I know, I found that out and I was like, oh man.
I told somebody, she, you know, the tattoo artist, and she's into it, and she did me a marathon tattoo recently, and I'm like, you know what it stands for? And when I told her, she was like, shut up. So then I sent her the video,
Took my soul with that. And but like, I like it because like the way how I train in here, it just blends nice. So I kind of need a target to aim for. When I did men's physique, it's I've got a wife, kid, and a dog, and like I love my food. And with men's physique, you are literally a Tupperware king, and it's like you're doing that for 20 weeks, and when you've got a 3-year-old or 3.5-year-old, it's like, give me a Haribo. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to have a Haribo, like, wearing a bit of it stuff, because it's like...
You must be as bad as me with kids, although, like, it's sort of, my kids, when they're asking for sweets and stuff like that, I'm just like, I don't get it. My missus is a bit soft with them and lets them on. But I'm like, so like now, I've got a 6 and 9-year-old, and if they want an ice cream when they come home, I'm like, right, we're going to do a 100 rally at table tennis, or you got to And then the disappointment we did it the other day. Honestly, we must have tried 25, 30 times, got 85 as the highest one. And then all of a sudden we got 129. The jubilation and elation, best moment of my week, hugging the girls there.
It's like, it's men are from Mars and women from Venus, aren't they? So it's like, I like with my sons, it's like completely polar opposite to me. But like, I'm just watching something on Instagram before you come in actually, and it's just a lad teaching his kid to fish, and he's like proper scared of fish, and he's like, just hold the fish, and like, just hold it, and he's like wiggling, he's like, and then next minute, cut scene later, he's like reeling it in, and picks it up, and he's like squeezing fish, and it's like, sometimes I do feel harsh on my little lad, but like, I've got to be, he's a lad, do you know what I mean? Like, I've grown up from Ready Estate, like, I want him to be able to defend himself, but I wanted to also know what love feels like. And don't get me wrong, I love him to absolute bits. He's like a mini version of myself. He's the best thing I've ever produced. And it's just like, when you've got kids, and I think with these teachers these days, which tell your kids that they're there, they lead and this, that, it's like, what? Like, we need to, this is why I want to like have my impact in health, because when you have a commitment to health, whether it's running, training, karate, yoga, you get clarity. When you're not worried about yourself, you can see like your life so much more clearer. That's like my niche market. My niche market is like people come from all walks of life. They could be millionaire, could be skint, whatever, but they want to have clarity. They want to look for they want to clear something up. And like, I think the best way to do it is through an action and with your health. Because as soon as you feel empowered and you feel good and you're like, right, I'm ready to go, and you've got that extra 5-10% of energy, you're gonna feel unstoppable, because that's all it takes. If you wake up and you feel like a little bit more like, yeah, let's go, like, and you have a coffee and then you even feel even better, you're going to smash 4 tons of workout. But if you wake up and you're like, you're proper groggy, and don't get me wrong, you're gonna have days where you're tired, like me yesterday, like absolute complete abnormal day. I've not woken up late for work for years, and I can honestly say that as well. And it was just because the day before I just worked extremely hard and just left my phone in the bathroom and didn't put it on charge, so it just didn't wake me up. And it's like, what I learned from yesterday, let me go to bed a bit earlier, so I've got the energy today to talk to you lot. But if I'm like worried about myself, do you know what, I've had a mind decrease to take away, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to think clear enough to be like, answer these questions and go down the tangents. So,
Joe, you're quite like inspirational and driven, and you got focus, set goals and all that. But there must have been challenges along the way, and it must affect you as well. And your mental health's a massive one, as you mentioned earlier. How do you? What's your coping mechanisms for yourself when you find yourself in when you've had problems and troubles, and then you've had to deal with it yourself, or what's been your biggest challenges where you've had to overcome it?
I asked for help. I never used to ask for help because I think as a lad, like you struggle. I think, and I did grow up with my dad, so my mum was like my dad. She tried to be my dad anyway. She can't be my dad. Yeah. She's my mum. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like because I was so self-dependent, and I saw my mum grow up with depression, so I naturally like I wouldn't say that I come from like a really traumatic lifestyle, but like I always had something in me, and I was like I don't want to grow up like that, and I want to be able to help my mum. In my own way, so like I do help her out, like she smashes it. She's a staff nurse, she does what she needs to do, and it's like she's not like useless because she's not. She's just, but she always had like a work ethic. If we're going to get something, we're going to work hard for it. And I took that work ethic into personal development. So like when I failed that business venture with my own business partner, that was the first time I picked up a book intentionally to read. So I was like, there's just so much like anxiety. And like, I used to get pain. I remember I used to get pain so bad in my stomach. I went to the doctors. And she was like, "You're just stressed." And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, and I forgot about it until now. And I remember like for weeks I used to be like, "Oh my god, my stomach's killing me." And like because I've never had anxiety before, I was like, Jesus. Don't get me wrong. Like I get anxious at times because you're like shit. Sometimes you might fall in short with like your money for the month to pay a bill. Because like I never brand new by myself, so I do this all by myself. But now I'm at a point where I'm like, I need to follow my own dojo rules, I need to delegate like the weaker points, what I'm good at. Like I ask for help, like, I've got my accountant, I've got my intern, I've got people around me in the network which are helping me to become stronger because they're doing the weaker points. They're doing my weaker points what they're stronger at. And it's like, what I learned is that you need to put the time back into yourself. So when I drive to work, it's 20 minutes. I'll put an audiobook on because I usually find like that's my bit of peace and quiet.
What are you listening to?
At the moment, I'm listening to The Psychology of Winning. It's a really, really old audiobook. I forgot the name of the guy, but it's read. It's hilarious. This week he's been speaking about positive self-expectancy. So like, if you don't have positive self-expectancy for yourself, how are you going to attract good things? Because
so you put a video out last Friday.
Literally, so it's like, and I find that like when I listen to something like that, I listen to a book called. I've got a massive list if you want it later. I force myself to listen to it every morning instead of music, so that I've got a positive token in my head to start the day away with. Because I usually find in my car that's like the journey time. Because outside of the car, looking after our Olivia, Sebastian, dog, parents, our family is massive. Like our family is huge. We've got a lot of clients, so I need to make sure that pressure doesn't build up. I'm able to handle the pressure instead.
How do you handle it?
Delegating it, planning it out, armouring my mind by listening to people who have done what I've done, but 10 times better. So like I take shards of like what they do. So like Alex knows it. If I'm going to do something, plan it out, be fast at it, and apply it, do it. If I get anxious, like I'm self-employed, I can go on holiday when I want. Yeah. So like literally last week, we've got a family villa in Spain. Livia and the family was going. I wasn't meant to go. We've just had a miscarriage. I may as well tell you. So it's alright. But like I said to us both, like instead of us making two problems, like there's something which is completely out of our control. But let's focus on how can we make ourselves better. So like I kind of like look for I'm very glass half full. Like I'm naturally glass half full. because I've been naturally glass half empty and it don't work. And it's like your life, you will just spiral down. Like it's so sad. And it's like I learn how to pour into people's glasses, how to make them more half full. Because if you look at what you've got, like you actually have more than what you think.
Yeah.
And like I always tell clients, don't focus on what you need to do, focus on what you don't need to do. Because then you'll do the stuff what you need to do anyway. And it's like it's just opposite to everything. And I pivot through life. I kind of like always look at things like, what is this teaching me? Like when I have that bit of time in Serenity, I think like, why is this happening? Like if something's gone mad in my life, and mate, there's been stuff which has just gone, you just can't even, I can't even tell you. Like it's just that it is bad. Like, and I think like this is teaching me something. But then I also think like pressures and privilege. Like I've probably been put in that predicament to test if I'm like willing to like overcome it. And like how I inspire myself is because I have people who rely on me. Like they rely on me to be like my best self. They literally like, so the lads who I was late for, they wake up and come early for 6 o'clock. I've had them again this morning, so I was here extra early, texted him at like 5, like I'm on schedule this time and I'll fail credit. And it's like I build that rapport and I prove my point. Like when they come in, everything's on, clean, like get on it. And like I don't dwell anymore. I used to waste a lot of time, and now looking back in my 20s, I used to party, like do all the stuff what I wasn't supposed to do. Like you're supposed to do, how I believe. But like I had the best times as well, and I feel like the countless mistakes that I made will help not only my friends, my son, and like everyone else to say I've done it. Like I have fucked up too, but like this is how I got out of it by not feeling sorry for myself. Instead, I like use the gym as my way to like forge a stronger version of me. So like how I've developed my personality is like accepting who I am.
Yeah.
So like, I've accepted that like I am impulsive and I can take mad calculated risks. I love my maths, but like if I look at my so-called flaws, which is like I can be impulsive and don't think and sometimes do what I need to do. Like I've learned to like put it into stuff which can lead to a better outcome. So I'm like, if I'm impulsive buying another book, I might not read it straight away, but I can pick it up at a certain time. Or if I'm going to buy something, like be impulsive with health, because with health, it's always going to give me back a positive. Like if I'm going to buy a supplement, if I'm going to buy some new gym gear, it's going to encourage me to do something which is even more positive. And I feel like the more I've trained more people, the more you learn from it. Yeah. It's just non-stop. So
how do people get involved here then? How passionate about it? If someone sat on the sofa right now watching this and they go, right, I want to get involved there, what's on offer to me?
They just drop a message. We usually what we do, because the packages are so bespoke, I ring them up and just say, this is what I offer, I do one-to-one training. I can train online, train with a friend, or you can come to a class. You can even come down and check it out, because people are nervous, they're scared, they're like, you're not usually in a good spot. Well, you might be in an alright spot, but like, I'm not saying, and that's relative, like everyone's spots are different. So like, my bad spot and your bad spot could be completely different. I could be like, I'm proper rubbish at running, but like, when I tell you my times, you're like, what? But like, if you come, you know what I mean? Yeah. So everyone's strong and everyone's weak in their own ways. So the consultation helps me to like, diagnose you in a way. It's a bit like right, we need to do this. I suggest doing this.
Like a surgery, basically.
Yeah, literally. And I've just learned as well, like, having the options helps, but also as well, like, just listening to what someone wants, and I'll say this is what you need to do. Like, you need to do this when you like it or not, because that outcome will help you out.
You said you got clients in, like, I take it you still got clients in China and Manchester and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm sat here thinking, how does that work? Is it all online?
Yeah, so like I've got a fitness app, so basically on my phone, I'm like a mad programmer, I'm like a mad scientist, so like, let's say someone's workout really. So basically, technology is advanced that much that you can like literally have your programs at your fingertips.
Right.
Because I used to make them on like Google Sheets or like Excel spreadsheets, but when you're actually in the gym and you're looking at a spreadsheet and then you look for the exercise, you're like, what's going on here? So say for instance like this lad who's training tomorrow, I've recorded all of the exercises for them to do, So then I'll say you're going to do 4 sets of 12, 10, 8, 6 reps, and that basically means you're going to go heavier each set. This is how you do it, and I'll demonstrate how to do it. So I'm virtually training them whilst they're actually.
So are you watching them do it?
I'm not watching them do it. It's like they'll log the
It's like
repetitions.
their homework almost.
Yeah. So they're logging their repetitions weight.
I just wake up and yet don't know.
You can do that, and then I'll just like come up and say I can tell you just done that as well because I've been crafty too. But like, say for instance, when you fill out a consultation form with me, say for instance if you can train 3 times or 4 times, I'll build a program which will be these are the days when I'd like you to do the 4 days. If you have to do them all 4 together or spread out, it's going to be regardless. The workouts will roughly take 60 minutes. That's the workout element, and then the nutrition, I'll just give you like custom nutrition. So the healthier the food, healthy food is actually really simple. There's not much variations of healthy food, it's just like the same thing for everyone, but mine is dairy or lactose or gluten. So I'll make them like quite a couple of documents of ideas of what to do with the healthy foods so that you can make something healthy. They pay me to be accountable, I hold them accountable through a system which then shows me this is what's going on.
Yeah.
So when I give them feedback, I do like a screen recording of my desktop with my face to show them like this is what your actual compliance is versus what you think. So they might think I've not done 1 workout a week, but if you've got 4 workouts a week and you miss 1 a week, you're actually a week behind because you missed 4. So if it's 4, 8, 12, 16 and you've missed 1 of each week, you actually have missed 4 workouts a month, which puts you back a week. So if you do that for 3-4 months, you're 1 month behind. So like I'll explain the maths that way, that you missing that 1 does actually make a big difference, especially when you've said that you can do that 1. And we need to understand why haven't you communicated to say that you've not made it so that we can make it work, so that we can do 3 that week and then 5 the next week. Do you know what I mean? So we can do the law.
It's a testament to you as well, Joe, the fact that, you know, you just said there, someone from Wales is like, bought the app and they've gone and like, there must be thousands of opportunities in Wales. And she's gone, no joking, that'd be better than what's literally on my doorstep. So that's testament to what you're doing.
My customer retention is really high. Like, I've retained customers for like 3, 4, 5, 6 years, but constantly, they've seen the company like grow as well. So like, there's been instances where I've been brought in to talk to the members of staff about workplace wellness, because as they've grown, they've seen me grow, and they're like, oh, you do this now, and it's like get them down and spoke in front of like 30 members of staff. I've been into like Ponds College and like spoke to them for like 2 hours. Even the teacher was like, I don't know how you've just got the concentration for 2 hours, but I'm like, when you speak to a student, you're not going to speak to them like how I would speak to an adult. Like, we're talking about like TikTok and all this stuff. Like, have you seen that? Like, oh my god, you watch TikTok? I'm like, yeah, so I'll keep myself entertained because I don't always like go home and just look at like gym all the time. Like, do you know what I mean? Go home, gym. It's like you can get boring. Like, I love my F1. Like, I'm obsessed with it. I was talking to Silverstone a couple weeks ago. Rained about 7 million times.
That's it, rain, but it's shocking.
Honestly, hoodie off. But because there's that much to know about it, you can't like know it all, and I like stuff like that.
So we're here today because Rory, we partnered up with on the South Yorkshire Health and Fitness Business Network, recommending you. Is Tommy Frank on that? I saw one of the pictures and thought Tommy.
Me and Tommy went to the same school at all same.
Alright.
So
we're on about having a chat with Tommy at some point.
Get some police officer, he's a right lad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, other than Tommy, who else would you suggest that we interview now that you know about what we do?
Elliot Galway.
I've messaged Elliot.
Example marketing is one of my clients. Why don't you try half of logistics? So like Brent, he does a really cool. Brent does a really cool like. It's mad to be fair because I think like it's mad what he does. Like he just puts a camera, records his logistical journey, and then explains like how he delivered the pallet. I think that's something crazy. Like to me, because I'm so I know he's like Jim. And I think Brent, Elliot, you're already doing Rory, Sarah Haynes. So I've teamed up with her to do Serenity Retreats, which is back into this year. So basically, we do like a 3-day retreat where when you're burnt out, when you're tired, I go through like all the lifestyle consultancy. She does like yoga vinyasa. It's near Buxton, and we've booked out this massive private venue, and we've like included all the food, the places to stay. You can come with couples, you can come it's a very flexible timetable. It's like if you don't want to do something, you don't have to. And it's just time back for people. So we're pushing that along because in England all you do is work. So like all you do in England is work. Because when I went to Spain, in Spain you don't work that much, you know what I mean? But in Europe, because we've left the EU, we have to work harder because of like the cost of goods and whatnot. And so we thought, right, let's create something because our demographic of clients are like, I'm so tired. And we're like, right, why don't you go out into the sticks and like calm down that way.
Yeah.
Like we made it. And we managed to get the venue like stupidly cheap for people to afford. And for 3 days, it's like, it's reasonable for what it is. I'd say Sarah Haynes. Trying to think who else sticks out to me.
No, that's good.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if you can intro us into to Sarah, I know Elliot, obviously.
Yeah, Sarah's class.
Tommy's on the. We didn't know whether to try and get Tommy because we'd interviewed Glyn Rhodes, and we were on about doing it in Glyn's gym with Glyn in the background chirping in his comments and what have you. So, but yeah, no, I think that's good. And what exactly is it you do with the South Yorkshire?
So what we do, our goal is to connect and get people to collaborate all over South Yorkshire. So say for instance how me and Rory met, because I'm not a sports person, if a client's been injured from their sport, I'm like, I don't know what to say to you. Go to Rory. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, same with Food Fusion. Food Fusion would be a good bet. There's just opened up a second venue. And it's like, when people are like, where do I eat? I'm like, go to Food Fusion. Like, £6 a meal. 40
That's not in town, back in Candidly.
Yeah, TRIB3. Yeah. So like for me, going back to me being resourceful and like, right, connect. Like, it doesn't hurt me referring someone.
No.
Where some people can be like, like keep it all to themselves and like, why gatekeep? Like, why can't you just say to someone, go to them? You know what I mean? And like, with Rory, so say for instance, like yesterday, I recommended a client to Rory, and then she was like, thank you so much. Like, you don't know if they've been needing a client, you don't know. Like, and I've been there, when someone's recommended you a client, it's just the best feeling ever. Like, oh my god, you come from that person. It's getting people to understand that like, you don't have to suffer by yourself. Like, I mean, look how quiet it is in this unit. So like, when I first moved in, I was like used to hustle and bustle, absolute mayhem, to a completely private gym what no one knows about. Like, to get people in off the streets, in the middle of Bycliffe, into here, was hard. Whereas like, it's easy now because I've learned how to build my network up. I've learned how to be more outgoing. I've learned how to like present myself. We have a set agenda, so we have 30 minutes of meet and greet. We give them a question to think about, and right now we have lunch provided by Sheffield-based companies. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all like local businesses to help strike some backs. We don't even profit off it. Like, it's just basically a bit of our spare time where we sacrifice it, we get new faces in through the doors, and then we've got like a free WhatsApp group where people can talk about the events going on. So I could say, yeah, well, I've got Serenity Retreats going on, do you know anyone who's on it? Like, and then they could be like, you know, I'm doing a special ice bath thing at Rise, do you want to come down and have a day? Like, so like, you know, it's just knowing like, alright, client, I know Macaulay, he's proper sound, he's got to check him out, it's only £8. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just
collaboration is king anyway.
Yeah, of course it is. It's like, collab, it works. Like, when big massive brands collab, it's massive. Do you know what I mean? So like, why not learn from the biggest brands? Like, why try and reinvent the wheel? Like, just do what works.
Well, Joe, I'm conscious of time.
Yeah.
We're already going to, I think, struggle to get all of that content down to now. No, it's been a good chat, and really appreciate your time. And as Robbo says, a really inspirational.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming down. Thank you, lads.
Cheers for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, lads. Nice one.
So,
Cheers, lads. Thanks so much for your time.